worst car crash dust from every major car brand.
The Porsche incident. On September 30th, 1955, James Dean had just finished filming Giant. The 24-year-old actor was finally free to pursue his true passion, racing. 9 days earlier, Dean had traded in his Porsche Speedster for something faster, a brand new Porsche 550 Spyder. Silver, lightweight, and dangerously quick. He paid $7,000 for it and had a custom painter add the words "Little Bastard."
Only $7,000? I mean, don't a Porsche cost way more? I mean, bro, we're in 2026. This is a long time ago, man. I miss the old days. I wish the car cost $7,000.
Across the back. A week before the crash, Dean ran into actor Alec Guinness in Los Angeles. Guinness would later write in his diary that the Porsche looked sinister to him and warned Dean not to drive it. That Friday afternoon, Dean set out for a race in Salinas with his mechanic Rolf Witherick riding shotgun. At 3:30 p.m., a California Highway Patrol officer pulled them over for speeding near Bakersfield. Dean got a ticket. It didn't slow him down. At 5:45 p.m., Dean was barreling down Route 466 at an estimated 85 miles per hour. Near the town of Cholame, a 23-year-old college student named Donald Turnipseed was driving a Ford Tudor in the
Please don't tell me you hit him. Like, dead serious, bro. Please do not tell me you hit him.
opposite direction. Turnipseed turned left across the highway. He never saw the low-slung silver Porsche coming. The impact was almost head-on. The Spyder crumpled like aluminum foil. Dean suffered a broken neck, massive internal injuries, and severe head trauma. He was pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. He had owned the car for 9 days. Witherick was thrown from the car.
You only had the car for 9 days. Why is you going so fast? You not Fast and Furious, boy.
And survived with serious injuries. Turnipseed walked
I'll be damned if I crash to a nigga and they survive and I died. God, respond me because I'm about to kill him too.
away with minor bruises. The 550 Spyder was a racing car with license plates. It weighed just 1,200 pounds. There were no seatbelts, no roll cage, no crumple zones. Porsche built it to win races, not to protect drivers. James Dean's death at 24 made him a legend. The Tesla incident. Joshua Brown was a believer. But a Tesla Model S had fallen in love with it. He named the car Tessie and posted YouTube videos showing off its autopilot system. Tesla founder Elon Musk retweeted one of his videos. It got 1 million views. On May 7th, 2016, Brown was cruising down a Florida highway with autopilot engaged. The system had given him 7 warnings to put his hands on the wheel. He ignored them all.
So put your hands on the goddamn wheel. The Tesla truck gives you warnings. The AR start doing his job. That means put your hands on the wheel. Why are you ignoring it? What is doing your car to ignore it? Are you having sex? Why is you ignoring the AI to put your hands on the wheel? The AI told me to put my hands on the wheel fast.
Ahead, an 18-wheel tractor trailer was turning left across the highway. The trailer was white. The sky behind it was bright. Neither Brown nor the autopilot system saw it coming. The Tesla drove straight into the side of the trailer at 74 miles per hour. The trailer sheared off the roof. The Tesla...
See, this is why I'm scared when big trucks get by me because I ain't gonna lie. Y'all be moving a little shady.
Crashed through 2 fences and came to rest against a telephone pole. A portable DVD player was found in the wreckage. According to the truck driver, it sounded like a Harry Potter movie was playing. Joshua Brown died instantly. He was the first known person killed while using a semi-autonomous driving system. The technology he trusted with his life did not detect the trailer, and the driver did not intervene despite repeated warnings. The Toyota incident. On August 28, 2009, California Highway Patrol officer Mark Saylor picked up his wife Cleof, their 13-year-old daughter Mahala, and Cleof's brother Chris Lestrella. They were driving a loaner 2009 Lexus ES 350 from the dealership, a car that had been reported as speeding out of control 3 days earlier. As they drove north on State Route 125, the car began accelerating on its own. Mark pressed the brakes. The car kept speeding up. From the back seat, Chris Lestrella called 911. "We're in a Lexus! We're going 120! We're in trouble! There's no brakes!" In the background, Cleofe was praying. Mahala was screaming, "Hold on and pray! Pray!" The line went dead. The Lexus struck a Ford Explorer at over 120 miles per hour, launched over an embankment, and burst into flames. All 4...
I'm sorry, but why are you going 120 miles per hour when you don't have no brakes? And then you're gonna call the police, like they gonna get there fast enough. Bro, you're going 120 miles per hour, bro.
were killed. Investigation revealed an incompatible floor mat had trapped the accelerator. Toyota had known about the problem since 2007. Millions heard the family's last 40 seconds on that 911 recording. Toyota paid $1.2 billion and later admitted it had misled consumers and U.S. regulators about safety issues. For the Saylor family, the admission came far too late. The Ford incident. On May 28,
Okay, W4.
1972, Lily Gray was driving her Ford Pinto on Interstate 15 near San Bernardino, California. Her neighbor, 13-year-old Richard Grimshaw, was riding in the passenger seat. They were on their way to
All right, this is already starting off bad, okay? If she killed that 13-year-old,
meet Lily's husband in Barstow. The Pinto was 6 months old and had been nothing but trouble. It stalled constantly, consumed too much gas, and had already been to the dealer multiple times for repairs. That afternoon, as Lily approached a congested off-ramp, the car stalled again. She coasted to a stop in the middle lane of the freeway. A Ford Galaxy came up behind her. The driver tried to stop but couldn't avoid the collision. He struck the Pinto at about 30 miles per hour. At the moment of impact, the Pinto's gas tank was driven forward into the rear axle. A bolt punctured the tank. Fuel sprayed into the passenger compartment. A spark
dang,
ignited the gasoline, and the car burst into flames. Lily
that just sounds like some movie junk. Like that sounds like something I seen in a Spider-Man movie. And Spider-Man came to save them. Like that just sounds like some movie junk.
Gray and Richard Grimshaw were trapped inside as flames engulfed them. When they
Dang.
finally emerged from the burning wreckage, their clothing had been almost completely burned off their bodies. Lily Gray died a few days later from congestive heart failure caused by her burns. Richard Grimshaw survived, barely. He had burns over 90% of his body. His nose was gone. His left ear was gone. He lost portions of several fingers. Over the next decade, he would undergo more than
I
6
mean, Lisa's things alive. That's all. That's all that really matters in life. At least that's about, bro. Go crack you a girl after that, bro. You don't need no nose. The girl probably you can crack some stanky girls because you don't got a nose no more.
60 surgeries. At trial, it emerged that Ford had known the Pinto's fuel tank was dangerous before the car ever went on sale. Crash tests showed the tank would rupture at just 20 miles per hour. Engineers calculated that a fix would cost $4 to $8 per car. Executives decided it was cheaper to pay out lawsuits than to recall the vehicles. The jury awarded Richard Grimshaw $125 million, later reduced by the judge to $3.5 million. Estimates suggest hundreds of people burned to death in Pinto crashes. Ford had done the math. They decided those lives were worth less than $11 per car. The BMW incident. In September 2020,
Okay, I want a BMW, so let's just.
a man in Arizona was driving a 2004 BMW 3 Series when he was involved in a collision. The crash itself was not severe. What killed him was not the impact. When his airbag deployed, the metal inflator canister ruptured and expelled metal fragments into the cabin. Investigators concluded a Takata inflator rupture sent shrapnel into the driver, killing him. Authorities withheld his name for privacy reasons. He was the 18th person to die from a Takata airbag in the United States, and the first in a BMW.
Need to run Windows on your Mac?
I'm sorry.
Had been manufactured
Replay
Takata
that.
airbag in the United States. Held his name for privacy reasons. He was the 18th person to die from a Takata airbag in the United States, and the first in a BMW. The air
I'm sorry. Imagine winning a first place award to die. Like, just imagine winning the first place award of dying in that BMW. I mean, at least you got an award. Streaming the Crasher of the Year.
bags had been manufactured using ammonium nitrate, a propellant that degrades over time in hot climates like Arizona's. When ignited, deteriorated propellant burns too fast, overpressurizing the metal canister and causing it to shatter. The recall eventually covered over 67 million inflators across 19 automakers, the largest automotive recall in history. His 16-year-old BMW had become a death trap, its safety device transformed into a weapon by chemistry and time. The Mercedes-Benz incident. On June
Okay.
11, 1955, Pierre Levey was racing a Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The 49-year-old Frenchman was driving one of the most advanced race cars ever built, its body made of ultra-lightweight magnesium alloy. Just before 6:30 p.m., Levey was approaching the pits at approximately 150 miles per hour. Ahead, British driver Mike Hawthorne pulled sharply in front of Lance Macklin's slower Austin Healey and braked hard. Macklin swerved left, directly into Leve's path. Leve had no time to react. His Mercedes struck the rear of Macklin's car, which acted as a ramp. The 300 SLR was launched into the air, flew over the embankment, struck a concrete stairwell, and disintegrated. The engine block was hurled into the packed grandstand. The magnesium body burst into white-hot flames. Leve was thrown from the car and killed instantly. In the
Dang.
grandstand, the carnage was unspeakable. The hood decapitated spectators. The engine plowed through the crowd for nearly 100 meters. At least 82 spectators were killed. More than 120 were injured. It remains the deadliest accident in motorsport history. Switzerland banned motor racing until 2022. Mercedes abandoned the sport for 3 decades. The tragedy at Le Mans changed racing safety forever. The Audi incident. In the 1980s, the Audi 5000 in the United States became headline after headline as drivers reported that the car would suddenly accelerate on its own without warning. Between 1978 and 1987, NHTSA investigations recorded around 700 crashes and at least 6 fatalities associated with sudden unintended acceleration in Audi 5000 models equipped with automatic transmissions. On November 23, 1986, CBS's 60 Minutes aired a devastating segment titled Out of Control. The report showed an Audi 5000 apparently accelerating by itself. U.S. sales collapsed from 74,000 in 1985 to just 12,000 by 1991. But in
Dang.
1989, after an exhaustive investigation, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration concluded that the incidents were caused by driver error, specifically pedal misapplication. It later emerged that the 60 Minutes demonstration had been staged using compressed air to force the car to accelerate. The children who died in those crashes were real. The grief of their families was real. But whether the Audi 5000 was truly defective remains contested. What is certain is that the controversy destroyed the brand's American market for over a decade. The Volkswagen incident. In November 2022, near London Bridge Station, a Volkswagen ID4 was parked on a street in Borough. According to witnesses, the electric SUV suddenly lurched forward without warning. 2 children were in its path. 5-year-old Farid Amir was struck and killed. His 12-year-old brother Raphael was critically injured. The driver claims the car moved on its own. In a London
So you see a 5-year-old dead on the ground, you just get out the car. I mean, the car moved on its own. You not gonna cry or nothing. I mean, the car just moved on its own. It's just crazy how the road is, bro. The car, it moved on its own, dude.
court case that followed, he maintained that he never pressed the accelerator, that the vehicle suddenly accelerated by itself while stationary. Investigators told the court they found no fault with the vehicle. They believe it was pedal misapplication, the driver pressing the accelerator when he believed he was pressing the brake. The case continues. Whatever caused the ID.4 to move that day, Farid Amir is dead. He was 5 years old. He was walking with his brother when a parked car became a weapon. The Chevrolet incident. On March 10, 2010, Brooke Melton woke up to a voicemail from her father, wishing her a happy 29th birthday. The pediatric nurse from Georgia drove to work, finished her shift, and headed to her boyfriend's place for dinner. 4 days earlier, her 2005 Chevrolet Cobalt had shut off while she was driving. The power steering failed. The brakes went stiff. She took it to the dealership. They returned it on March 9th, saying they had fixed the problem. They hadn't. On that rainy birthday night, her ignition switch slipped from run to accessory. The engine shut off. Her power steering failed. Her brakes failed. Her airbags were disabled. The Cobalt hydroplaned, crossed the center line, and was struck by an oncoming vehicle. Her airbags never deployed. Brooke Melton died of her injuries. Her father hired an attorney who discovered that General Motors had known about the defective ignition switch since 2001. Engineers had proposed fixes. Executives rejected them because they cost too much. The defect was eventually linked to at least 124 deaths. GM recalled 2.6 million vehicles and paid $900 million in criminal penalties. Brooke Melton died on her 29th birthday because a part that cost less than $1 was not strong enough to stay in position. The Honda incident. On Christmas Eve 2009, Gurjit Rathore was driving her 2001 Honda Accord through Richmond, Virginia, with her 3 children in the back seat. A mail truck struck her vehicle. The collision was not severe. But when the airbag deployed, the metal inflator canister violently ruptured. A shard of metal was propelled into Rathore's neck, severing her carotid artery. The 33-year-old mother bled to death in front of her children. The airbags had been manufactured by Takata Corporation using ammonium nitrate as a propellant. Over time, especially in hot and humid climates, the chemical degraded. When the airbag deployed, the propellant could burn too quickly, shattering the metal canister into deadly shrapnel. Honda had installed these airbags in millions of vehicles. Testing later revealed certain older inflators had extremely high rupture rates. Despite knowing of the defect, Takata and Honda were slow to act. People continued to die. By the time the recall reached its full scope,
Okay, great. Okay, great. Were you even listening? You haven't taken a single note this.
at least 27 people worldwide had been killed and more than 400 injured. Takata filed for bankruptcy. But for Gurjit Rathor's children, who watched their mother die on Christmas Eve, no penalty could undo what they witnessed. The Nissan incident. On January 4th,
I mean, like, imagine you think you about to go home, about to open some Christmas gifts in the morning, and you just see your mama die. And it's just actually insane, bro. That's your Christmas gift for Christmas. Seeing your mama die, bro. Like, I will cry that whole Christmas. You think you about to get some hot choco, cook some cookies for Santa Claus, and you see your mama die. It's actually insane.
2026, a 29-year-old man was driving a Nissan GTR through Johor Bahru, Malaysia. The GTR produces 565 horsepower and can accelerate from 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. Its sophisticated
Dang.
electronics keep the car stable in situations where other vehicles would spin out. Police said the GTR lost control and crossed into oncoming traffic. The crash killed 2 people, the GTR driver and the driver of the other vehicle, who succumbed to injuries later. The GTR's computers had been designed to keep its driver alive in situations he should never have attempted. But no electronics can override the laws of physics. At some point on that Malaysian road, the technology that made him feel invincible met its limit. 2 families received the worst news of their lives that day. One because a man chose to drive a supercar beyond what any car can survive. One because they happened to be in the wrong lane at the wrong moment. The Ferrari incident. On August 31st,
Okay.
2014, a Ferrari 458 Spider was traveling on Germany's A40 Autobahn near
Nice
Dortmund.
car. Good
The
selection, dude.
458 Spider was Ferrari's convertible masterpiece, a 4.5-liter V8 producing 562 horsepower. Its
Dang.
body built from lightweight aluminum to maximize speed. The driver
Dang.
lost control. The Ferrari crashed into the guardrails at high speed. The impact was violent. Then the fire started. The passenger was trapped in the wreckage. The lightweight materials that made the 458 so fast offered almost no protection when things went wrong. Witnesses watched helplessly as flames engulfed the car. She burned to death before anyone could reach her. The driver was thrown from the vehicle. He survived the impact but sustained severe injuries. He died later in hospital. 2 people entered one of the most beautiful cars ever made that day. Neither survived. Every gram Ferrari saved to make the 458 faster was a gram of protection they did not have. If you'd like to see more stories like this, make sure to subscribe.
That's actually insane, bro. Alright, watch it from YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, join us on Twitch, link in the description, we'll be live. You feel me?